the Kirchhoff's laws, Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Current law is based on the conservation of charge, where say the Kirchhoff's voltage law is based on conservation of energy. Previously we have gone through the fundamental terms of work, power, energy, current, voltage. Likewise, we have discussed and classified the components as active and passive elements. Active, which are capable to supply energy, and the passive are not having the capability to supply energy on their own. We also need the current voltage relationship during the KCL and KVL discussions. So this particular is also put as a summary. So fundamental equations for the resistance, inductance and the capacitance. These particular relations to be used when say the currents are known and we are interested in calculating the voltage. These particular are the relations to be used when say the voltages are known and currents are to be calculated. In this we will also be discussing the topological terms, which are say the definition of branch, node, loop, junction, likewise. And as mentioned in the beginning, we will be discussing the two laws, Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage laws. So branch, any of the circuit element is regarded as a branch. It can be an active or can be a passive element. If suppose say it is neither the active or passive elements, it is not a branch. If suppose say it is simply a conducting wire, we will not be considering that as a branch. Node is the interconnection point of two or more elements, or you can say branches. Here the point which is to be noted, it is the interconnection of two or more branches. So that particular is important. Junction, there is a difference. So it is the point of interconnection of three or more branches. So on this aspect the node differs with the junction, or you can say the junction differs with the node. Loop, it is a closed path in the circuit, and how we will be defining the closed path? So where the current has the path back to where it has come from. So this particular has to be applicable for all currents in the circuit. Now if suppose we are defining the number of branches, number of nodes, then there is a relationship with the fundamental loops, or you can say the independent loops. So that particular is dictated by L is equal to B minus N minus 1, where say B is the number of branches, N is the number of nodes, L is the number of independent loops. So this independent loops carries some meaning, and that particular will be used when say we will be discussing, let's say, the mass analysis. Now just to understand the topology, we have considered few examples likewise. So in this we will be identifying first the number of branches. So this particular is a branch, this is a branch, 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 branch. So basically it is having the 6 branches. Now we have to identify the node. So node is the interconnection of two or more than two elements. So if suppose there is no presence of active or passive element, then that particular will not be a node. So let's say this particular there is a only conducting wire, it is not a node. So nodes you will be identifying, and that particular I will be illustrating you in the coming slides. So here say this particular is a node where 4 elements are connected. This particular is combined is a node, more than 2 elements are connected. Here say D is a node, R1, R2, R3 are connected, C is also a node. So once say the branches are there, nodes are identified, you can easily calculate the number of independent loop equations likewise. However, just to illustrate that it is, although having say the 4 number of nodes, but the junctions are B, where say 4 elements are connected, A, where say 3 elements are connected, and D, where 3 elements are connected. Now take another example. In this particular, as per that procedure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circuit elements are 5, and to identify the nodes, illustration is given. So 1, 2 and 3. 3 are the nodes. Habitually in this, every node is having an interconnection of 3 or more than 3 elements. So the number of junctions are equal to number of nodes in this particular example. Now here the number of independent loops equations are 3. So let's say if you are identifying this as a loop which is a closed path, this particular is a closed path, this particular is a closed path. So you require 3 equations to solve this particular circuit. Now we are starting with the Kirchhoff's current law. This particular is application of conservation of charge. This particular is applicable to a junction or a node and a closed boundary. So when say we are saying that it is equally applicable to junction or a node and a closed boundary, so that particular has to be understood. So for a node, when say it is only an interconnection of 2 elements, the current which is entering, the same current will be leaving, so there is no point as such. When say it is having an interconnection of 3 or more than 3 elements, the KCL has to be applied judiciously. So the 2 points which are to be understood: how it can be applied to a junction, how it can be applied to a closed boundary, and how the conservation of charge has to be satisfied, or basically what the conservation of charge suggests. So the KCL states that the algebraic sum of currents entering or leaving a node or a closed boundary is 0. So here there is a sense of current entering or leaving. This has to be clearly identified. If suppose say we are considering the leaving as a positive current, then the entering has to be negative current, or otherwise if the entering current is treated as positive current, then the leaving current has to be treated as negative current. So in that sense this particular summation is 0. Just to clarify, let's take one example here. In this particular example only the junction is treated. So where say the 5 currents are marked, I1, I2 and I3, they are the leaving currents or the outward currents. Similarly I4 and I5, they are the entering currents. So let us take this particular relationship in a contrary perspective, and then only we will be able to say how this particular summation has to be 0 as per the conservation of charge. So let's say the total current at the junction, that is IT. So you have considered the leaving current as positive, entering current as negative sign. Now the charge, it is the integral of the current. So correspondingly Q2 will be equal to Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 minus Q4 minus Q5. However, the conservation of the charge suggests that the total charge at a junction will be 0. So when say this Qt will be 0, corresponding the derivative form It will also be 0. So that particular dictates that I1 plus I2 plus I3 minus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0. These two are re-represented into a entering current nomenclature and the leaving current nomenclature. So that's why it is suggesting sum of the entering currents is equal to sum of the leaving currents. Now this is applicable to a closed boundary as well. So this is, you can say, the section of a circuit which has been taken. A closed boundary is taken with a red dotted marking. Now KCL holds true for this particular junction, it holds true for this particular junction, it holds true for this particular junction as well. However, KCL also holds true for this particular closed boundary. When say the boundary is taken into perspective, the outward current to the boundary I1, outward current to the boundary I2, outward current to the boundary I3, where okay IC is also the outward current and the inward current is IE. So that particular, if translated into the mathematical relation, it is suggesting I1 plus I2 plus I3 plus IC minus IE is equal to 0. On the similar line, let's take another boundary. So this particular is a boundary which we considered. In this, I5 is leaving, outward current, I4 is outward current, IC is inward current, IE is outward current. So the equation has to be I4 plus I5 plus IE minus IC is equal to 0. So it is equally applicable to the junctions or to the closed boundary. Now take the example here. So in this we are supposed to calculate the current I in the network. Now this particular is the current which is to be calculated. There is no point in wasting the computational efforts in calculating these individual currents, IA, IB, IC, ID, likewise. So you can take a closed boundary likewise and then calculate the current. So that particular closed boundary is selected likewise. You are now equipped to apply the KCL to this particular closed boundary. So what is happening? This I is the outward current, 3 ampere is the inward current, 15 ampere is the inward current, 5 ampere is the outward current. So on that particular basis, you have summed up the outward current, you have summed up the inward current and find out the value of I as 13 ampere. Now let us take the another example. Here say we have to find the currents in each element. So what are say the current which are marked? 3 ampere, 15 ampere, 5 ampere. And the objective is to find the current in each element. So if suppose say only this particular current has to be known, has to be calculated, then we would have used a bigger boundary likewise and calculated the current I. However, when say it is to be calculated in each elements, we will be identifying the junctions and putting the equation. So these junctions are marked A, B, C and D, and corresponding to this junction A, we will be writing the KCL equation. So what has to be this? This particular is incoming current, this is the outward current. So the net outward current IAB will be equal to 15 minus 8, 7 ampere. So similarly you could have calculated the other currents as well likewise. So IAB comes out to be 15 minus 8, 7 ampere. Similarly IBD you can calculate. This particular will be incoming current for B, this particular will be incoming current for of 3 ampere. So IBD will be 7 plus 3, 10 ampere. On the similar line you can easily calculate the other currents. Now let us take the practical example where say the various type of circuit elements are connected. In this particular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements are there. This particular, although say not element, but it is only part of the circuit, so it is coming from say other part of the circuit. So basically it is to deal with the 5 currents. Now this particular is there is a relationship which we have to use, that is the capacitor is there, inductor is there. So corresponding to that, let us see what is given to us first. So in this V4 is specified. So V4 is pertaining to the resistance. You can calculate the I4 value dividing the V4 by the resistance value. This particular is a dependent source. So its value depends directly on I1. It will be known. This is a capacitor I3, so the voltage is known, and for the known voltage you can calculate the current in the capacitor, that is equal to C dV by dt. So I3 will be known, and having known these particular I1, I4, this particular dependent source current and I3, you can calculate the I2, which is the current in the inductor. And when say we have to find out this particular the voltage across the inductor, so that is L di by dt has to be used, and you can easily calculate the voltage. So the same procedure has been listed out here. I4 is calculated first, that is the voltage divided by the resistance. Then the I3 is calculated, so C dV3 upon dt. Then we have made use of the KCL relationship. So correspondingly, the I2 value is calculated. This I2 is the current current through the inductor, and after that we calculated the inductor voltage likewise. And as to be noted, resistance is a passive device, capacitor is a passive device, inductor is also a passive device. So the terminal to which the currents are entering, they are marked positive likewise. Now this particular is the Kirchhoff's voltage law. We have to see it on the analogous line. It is the application of conservation of energy. This particular is applicable to a closed path or a loop. That loop can be independent loop or can be a different loop. In general, it is a closed path. So that we will be seeing. Here it states that the algebraic sum of all the voltage drops or rises. You please follow here, say the drops or rises around a closed path is 0. So when you are assigning the drop as a positive, then the rise has to be assigned as a negative polarity. In that sense, this particular has to hold true. Now just to illustrate, the equation is given. So let's say we are oriented around this particular path, closed loop. So what we are saying, this particular V1 is a rise, V2 is a drop, V3 is again rise, V4 is again rise, and V5 is drop. So as mentioned previously, the rise is assigned the negative polarity, drop is assigned the positive polarity, and the equation is written. So that particular is, you can translate that the sum of the voltage rises is equal to sum of the voltage drops. But the question arises, how this conservation of energy holds true? So that has to be seen with this particular statement. If the potential around a closed loop is not 0, the unlimited energy would be gained by the repeated flow of charge around the loop, because when say there is a current, there is a flow of charge. So that would have gained the unlimited amount of energy, and there is no source which can supply this unlimited amount of energy. So that suggests that the potential around a closed path has to be 0 likewise. Now this particular is an example where say it will be using the KCL and KVL both. Now where say we have to find the Vs, supply voltage has to be found, and the capacitor current is given. So corresponding to this capacitor, you can calculate the voltage first. So the capacitor voltage is to be calculated, and we will be using the relationship Vc is equal to 1 upon C Ic dt. So that particular will be used. Now this particular Vc is exactly equal to the voltage across the 2 ohm resistor, because they are connected in parallel, or you can say they are connected between the same pair of nodes. Once that particular is known, you can calculate this particular current through the inductor by applying the KCL. Once the current is known, you can apply the KVL to find out this particular Vs. So the steps are simple. That particular is there. First step is to calculate the capacitor voltage as mentioned there. So that integral form of the equation has to be used. Then we will be calculating the current in the 2 ohm, because the voltage across this will be exactly equal to the capacitor voltage. So that particular is known. Now we will be assigning the KCL law to find out the current I, which is the sum of IC plus current in the 2 ohm resistor. And once this particular I is known, the KVL around this has to hold true. So the supply voltage, which is a rise, will be counterbalanced by the drop across this resistance, drop across the inductor, and drop across this 2 ohm resistor as well. So the equation will be Vs is equal to IR plus VL plus Vc. This is substituted. You can calculate the voltage. Now take another example where say we are supposed to calculate the I0 and V0. So here say you have to first identify the junctions. So that junctions are, let's say this particular is a junction, this particular is a junction. Once say the junctions are identified, you are supposed to write the KCL equation. So I0 outward current plus I0 by 4, that is also outward. This is a polarity positive, so the current will be directed in, you can say, from top to bottom in the resistor, and the value will be exactly equal to V0 by 8. So sum of these particular is counterbalanced by the supply current, so that is resulting into one equation. So the KCL, then the equation is resulted. Another one, because these elements are connected in parallel, so the voltage across this particular 2 ohm resistance will be exactly equal to the voltage across this 8 ohm resistor. So you can relate I0 and V0. So what the I0 suggests? V0 by 2. You make a substitution of this particular and you can solve, you will be getting the value likewise this. This particular is also another example of Kirchhoff's law, where say the supply voltage is there and there are say 3 elements. We have to solve. So when say the question arises like this, solve without specifying a variable, that means we have to solve for the voltage and currents for all circuit elements. So as per the procedure, you are assigning the currents I1, I2 and I3. Once say the currents are assigned, you will be writing the V1, V2, V3 using the Ohm's law. So once say that particular is mentioned, you will also be marking the voltage polarity. So how the voltage polarity is marked? The terminal to which the current is entering is marked positive. So let's say this particular is marked positive, likewise and so on. Now you have identified the junctions. So where say the KCL equation is written, so that particular is I1 is equal to I2 plus I3. Now you need the KVL relationship as well. So this particular is a voltage rise, this will be a drop, this will be a drop. So the equation will be 30 is equal to V1 plus V2, or you can say minus 30 plus V1 plus V2 is equal to 0. The same has to hold true for this particular path, because that particular is a closed path, or that is also another loop. So you will be having say the 3 relations using the Ohm's law, 1 relation using the KCL and the 2 relations pertaining to the KVL. You have solved these 6 relations by elimination of variables. The final value can be obtained likewise. So these are, you can say, the steps which we have to go through in solving the circuit using the KCLs and the KVL. So that the KCL is an application of conservation of charge. It suggests that the algebraic sum of currents entering or leaving the junction or closed boundary is 0. However, to apply it, we have to identify the junction or closed boundary judiciously. We have to assign the sign of entering currents and leaving currents of opposite nature. As a convention, I am requesting that you please assign the leaving currents as positive and the entering currents as negative. So this will be helpful while we will be discussing the nodal method of analysis. On the analogous line, the KVL, it is the application of conservation of energy. It suggests that the algebraic sum of the voltage rise or drop around a closed path is 0. So to apply this KVL, we have to identify a closed path or the loop very judiciously. We have to assign the voltage rise or voltage drop of different polarities. Likewise, you can make a voltage drop as positive, voltage rise with a negative while writing the KVL equation. In the next, we will be discussing the equivalent representation of the circuit elements, that is going to have the series parallel combination of active and passive elements and the star delta conversion. For further reading, you can refer these particular textbooks.